Hello everyone, welcome back to Chess Comic. Um, in one of my games last night on chess.com, I played against Magnus, who is rated 2300 on chess.com, but not Magnus Carlsen, okay? Because Magnus Carlsen is just a beast. All right, anyway, so let's try to assess and look at the position. So it's my turn, I'm black, and his king is in castle. So whenever the king is in castle, you want to attack it, and the way to attack it is to open up the center. So I played pawn to e5. If my opponent took, I will just take back with the knight, and then I'll be able to capture this bishop with a discovered check, and eventually win the other bishop. So my opponent chose not to capture after I played e5, so let's go back. Instead, he played pawn to c3. He was trying to make a solid center using his pawn chain, although this bishop is already bad because it's inside of the chain. And I played queen e7. A sneaky development with a threat of capture. So I want you guys to visualize. If I capture, so let's just say white plays a random move like pawn to b4. I'll simply capture. He won't be able to capture back with the e pawn because it's pinned, and then he's going to capture, and I'll just play knight takes d4, winning a pawn because the e pawn is pinned. If he captures back, I'll just capture back. Right? So let's go back to what happened. So my opponent was able to find my threat, in which he played queen to e2. When I move my queen to e2, it's not a single purpose move. The other purpose is to connect my rooks. So it will be able to help on my attack. So I played rook f to e8 to pile up on the e file, in which I think my opponent already gave up. I was calculating a move like bishop to b5, but I know this still won't work because I have this idea. E takes. If he takes with the c pawn, I will still take. If he takes with the bishop, I will still take. And if he takes with a pawn, because he thinks it's no longer pinned, I mean, if I trade the queens, he will just take back with the bishop. But I wouldn't trade queens. I will just move my queen to d6, and now he will lose his queen. That was my trick. So let's try to go back on what happened. After I played rook f to e8, he lost chance. He played pawn to f3, in which, of course, I have a threat on an existing threat on d4. I just took. It took back with the e pawn, and I played queen h4. He resigned. Check me the king, and I'm going to win the queen on the next turn. Let's go back. Another part of the instructional here. The engine was suggesting it was better for white to just move the king to d1 and then c2 to self-long castle. Although this is still much better for black. Anyway, I hope you guys learned from this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And stay tuned. Always be updated with my live stream every day. Until next time. Bye-bye, everyone.